On today's episode of CSI Genetics Edition, we focus on the disappearance of a favorite dog toy. It was a normal day for Winnie, or so she thought. She was playing with her favorite toy at the park when a bird caught her eye. She stared at it for a long time till she returned to play with her toy, but it was gone. Winnie was devastated. Cops were called, and the investigation was underway of where the toy could have gone and who took it. Around an hour later, the toy was found in a ditch behind the park. It was collected and searched for evidence. The investigators were able to collect one hair from the toy. This was all they needed. From the hair, the police were able to identify 4 suspects. Suspect 1, Allison, dog walker. Suspect 2, Jack, runner and father of Abby. Suspect 3, Abby, dirt enthusiast and daughter of Jack. Suspect 4, Kate, neighborhood bully. DNA samples were collected from the 4 suspects to be sent to the lab and analyzed. In the lab, the DNA was amplified for 2 different VNTR loci and run on separate gels to create DNA fingerprints using gel electrophoresis. Here are the results. This is the first VNTR locus we tested. To compare DNA results, we are going to compare the bands formed in the gel. First, we will look at the first band of the hair found on the toy. The first band of DNA analyzed at locus 1 matches the DNA of suspect 1, suspect 3, and suspect 4. While the band matches multiple suspects, we will need to look at the second band and another locus to determine who took the toy. The second band of DNA from the hair matches the DNA bands of the victim, suspect 1, suspect 2, and suspect 3. The victim, suspect 2, and suspect 4 all have bands that don't align with the bands of the hair found on the toy. This means it can't be their hair. Looking at the first band, we can see it matches the band for suspects 2 and 3. We need to look at the second band to confirm if suspect 3 is guilty. The second band for the hair DNA, again, matches the bands of suspects 2 and 3, but suspect 4 also matches this band. The victim, suspect 1, and suspect 4 all have bands that don't align with the bands of the hair found on the toy. This means suspects 2 and suspect 3 both match bands to locus 2. However, suspect 2 didn't match both bands at locus 1, so he is not the criminal. Looking back at our results, it is obvious that suspect 3 is guilty because she matches both bands at both VNTR loci. Jack was disappointed that his daughter Abby was found guilty of such a crime. He questioned if that was even his real daughter. Looking back at the gel electrophoresis results, we can compare the bands at both loci of Jack and Abby. For Jack to be a parent, he and Abby must share a band at both loci. On locus 1, the 2 suspects both share their second band. On locus 2, they share both bands. From what we know, we can conclude that Jack is her father. Finally, the toy is returned to Winnie and Abby is sent to serve for her actions.